Hello everyone, this is my 1/10 summit. Just wanted to go over some things about the new tires on it. You can see it's got the rock crusher tires, which are pretty awesome, with the axial bead locks oversized on there. These are a very large tire, and you probably have read a little bit about that on the internet before. The size does not look bad on the truck. First time I saw these on the internet, I wanted some. Then I read a bunch of reviews that the traction wasn't that good and whatnot. So maybe we can address some of those issues. I did notice my tires are very soft. And the reason they are like that is because I don't have any foam at the top part of the tire. I only have foam at the bottom part of the tire. And I found that helps with sidewall stability, but also allows the tread to be very soft and malleable on the rocks. Of course, here's a size comparison to the stock tire. And everybody who has stock tires know they actually don't sit like that when they're on the truck. They're usually compressed like this. They don't actually hold the weight of the truck that well. And the other issue, of course, is they like to lean over on the turns. I can't say that these crushers will do that too, but there is a lot of sidewall to lean over here. It works out pretty well. One other size comparison to this tire, I just got my 1/16 Summit tire out here. As you can see, about twice as big. These are definitely large tires. And I guess the other one I didn't show was the width. The stock tire is just a little bit wider than these rock crushers. Not much, it's pretty close. I was actually happy. I thought they were going to be narrower, but really it's not much difference. And I'll try to get the camera perspective so that you can tell that they are very similar in size. I'm going to say 1/4 inch at most on the stock tire. As far as on the inside of this Summit, what I've done different is I am running the Trackstar waterproof ESC and brushless motor. This is the 1900 kV. I did do some testing on this one, and I got that in another video. Pretty happy with the motor. It's got a nice setting, a low setting that I use, and it really stops the rapid acceleration of these brushless motors. And this thing won't catwalk even. So actually I think it's helping keep the drivetrain intact. And I was able to mount this using the existing screw holes that were there from the EVX2, which I thought was good. So it's actually not glued down, it's just screwed down, just like the EVX2. And I also took the fan off because I like to run in wet conditions. This is all waterproof. So my Summit is waterproof, but I didn't want the fan on there. And I've been able to keep the ESC temperatures down right around 100 degrees F. And same with the motor, so it actually runs very cool. So I've been pretty happy with that. And the runtime compared to the stock EVX2 is incredible because the lower voltage limit is 3.4 instead of closer to 3.7 on the Traxxas EVX2. So the runtime went up almost double by going to this brushless system, partially because of the lower limit and partially because of efficiency. So I might do a couple different things around the yard to show you how these tires work. I'll have some other videos. I'll show a top speed run with this thing, with these tires on. They don't really balloon up much at the speed this truck goes, which is right around 30 miles an hour. So they're actually okay on the asphalt or top speed, and I'll show you what they look like. I've got a little bit of rocks in the yard. I can show you what the flex looks like. Here's my miniature rock garden, just so you can see how the tires behave. see the flex I get out of the tire actually. They crawl very well. I not locked my differentials. I actually find I can be pretty open when I'm crawling with this motor combination with the high torque. And now the nice flex on these tires. The other thing that seems really good about them is the ground clearance is higher. And that annoying getting stuck in the middle or hanging up high centered out that the Summit normally has isn't near as much of an issue with these tires. I really like that because that was super annoying, I found, with the stock tires and the stock motor. It just happens way less with this higher torque motor and these bigger tires. Till now. Ooh, got off there without locking the door. Stupid garden gnome, you suck. One more run through, see if we can catch some more flex. Keep the tires on the rocks, boy, you can see the flex there, they bite really well in many situations. Again, I'm not even locked here, and I'm crawling over rocks that would have definitely hung up the Summit before. It would have crawled them with it locked, but you can see the tires when they start to dig, that it's just going to go. Again, no diffs locked, making up there in stock form, no way. High gear. Okay, so this is my dirt mounds that I crawl over. With the stock tires, I used to get high centered a lot. Big difference with these rock crushers, that doesn't happen. I can actually drive over this, straight over it, high gear if I want. Which I could never do before. I had to be locked and pretty careful about how I placed the vehicle or it'd get high centered. Let's just take a look at that. I don't have to worry what line I take anymore, it just drives over this. So when I first put the brushless motor in, I said it's not a crawler anymore. Now it's more like a conqueror. It just drives over things so easily. So definitely working well for crawling with the foams out around the edge to give us lots of flex on the tires. And the grip is good. The clearance is wonderful. Mix that with the Summit suspension, and I'm hardly even locking the diffs on many obstacles now. As long as I got my tires, 3 tires on the ground, this thing's cruising. So just try it out now in high gear to see how that looks. Seems to work pretty well that way too. So this brushless setup on 2S stock gearing tops up right around 30 miles an hour. Which I find is plenty fast. Lots of power with that motor. Runs really cool and efficient. So I'm pretty happy that so far I've had, I say, about 10 battery packs through it so far. Probably do long-term updates because I can't seem to find much on that motor other than people saying it blew up or the ESC smoked or something. Rocks flying everywhere. Awesome. The other thing I found with this motor, the braking was just as good as stock, easily. I saw complaints on the internet, people saying that the motor would brake too hard and whatnot. This one works perfect, just like stock. I have the programming card and I did adjust the braking a little bit. Just do a full throttle start here so you can see how that looks. You notice it's not spinning. I've got the slipper clutch set at quarter turn and that low setting, and I find that makes a huge difference. That it's not explosive power coming out of it, but it gets going just fine. So if I wanted to do more serious bashing, I would turn that motor up and maybe put down the slipper clutch a bit, but for what the Summit is and tires like this, I like that setup quite a bit. The other thing is absolutely no clogging with this engine whatsoever. It just starts. So it doesn't go as slow as I'd say a Mamba Monster I've seen them able to do. This one doesn't do that. It just starts without any clogging. I'll definitely have to do some more videos of these rock crushers in action with this brushless combination, but so far pretty darn happy with it. It seems contrary to reviews I'm seeing from other people. So I don't know if my expectation's different. I'm not a real crawler. This is the closest to crawling I've ever came. Like I said, I think the Summit's a bit more of a less finesse conqueror. It uses size and power to do what it needs, and I find in a lot of situations it really can go over things well with this tire setup, where there's not much, basically just the rubber flex up here and then the foams down here a little bit. They seem to work fine for bashing, crawling, whatever. Anyways.